Welcome to the Oyasumi podcast, the nighttime podcast that you can listen to at any time of the day. Any time of the day you want to listen to it. I mean, if it's not out, you can't listen to what's not out. But there are other episodes you can listen to at any time of the day. And really, if we're being honest, you can listen to any podcast, I think, at any time of the day. So that's not special, but it is because it's the Oyasumi podcast. And it's still a true statement. So there's that. I've got my vanilla milk stout sweater on, my wintertime sweater, because do you know what? It's been raining like fucking crazy here. I think I looked up. It's some kind of record for, what are we in, June, July? We're in June. For this particular part of the map, for this particular day of the year. Now, yesterday it pretty much rained non-fucking stop. Luckily, I was at work all day, and it's still raining now. I mean, maybe if I had the day off, I'd just, whatever, play video games or what have you. But, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where the weather is at here. Start of the podcast. We're at the start. We're at the beginning. That's where you start. Whoo boy. Last week's episode was rough for me for obvious reasons. But here we go. That was ground zero. This is episode 1. I mean, it's not, but you know what I mean. We're back. I'm back. So let's check in at the top of the show. Let's check in. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to sit up a little bit straighter. And I'm going to check in with myself. You certainly can too if you feel like it. Just ignore my voice for just a couple seconds. I'm feeling kind of baseline. That's what I got from that. That's what I got from closing my eyes and thinking about where I'm at right now. I feel baseline. Now, again, I am still in kind of a rough place in my life, so that can change literally at any second. And let me tell you, it has. I've been going through some emotions, anger, sadness, depression, anxiety, super sadness, super sadness, super anger, medium anxiety. Not so much anxiety as the other things, weirdly enough. So that's what that's my battle right now. And it's mine to bear. And whatever your battle is right now, I hope you're receiving grace from others and doing the best you can, because that's kind of all we could think about. Oh my God, I never noticed that you could, or I never realized that you could see my pack of American Spirits back there. I don't smoke a lot. It's just for special occasions and going out clubbing, which I would do were they open. Speaking of open, actually, and openness during the pandemic, apparently Disneyland is allowing you to go to Disneyland maskless if you have the vaccine, which makes sense to me. I guess you just bring your card, your CDC card. Well, I don't know if you would have to bring it, because what if you lose it on the Matterhorn? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'd want to bring my CDC card onto the Matterhorn lest I lose it. Splash Mountain? Are you fucking kidding me? It'd get wet. The ink would fall off. Oh, I think they've closed down Splash Mountain because they're changing Splash Mountain because it's a little problematic. Fun ride. Fun ride. Kind of glad they're changing it. I'm glad I got to go on it before they're changing it. And you know what? I don't like to overuse the word problematic, but Song of the South, which is the movie that the ride is kind of based off of, it was very problematic. It's ridiculously so. I don't even really want to talk about it. Because I don't know how I can make that funny. I don't know. I don't think I can make that anything talking about it just besides just saying that it exists. So it exists. Don't watch it. I think it's probably pretty hard to watch it. I mean, it's definitely not on Disney Plus. I don't think. I would really hope not. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. Jesus Christ, what a horrible way to make a movie. I didn't really go anywhere, but that's okay. So Disneyland letting you in. Were you to have a card, I assume. I don't know how they're swinging it, but that's cool. You know, shit's starting to open back up. More people are getting vaxxed. I am vaxxed, fully vaxxed, waxed, and ready to fucking party. I don't know if I want to party. I do kind of want to party. Again, if were the clubs open, I would be partaking in the nightlife. Am I good at dancing? No. Do I like music? Yes. Do I like alcohol? Yes. Do I like drugs? You know, they're actually fun. People assume that drugs are my favorite thing, and I play into that a lot in my life. So actually, if you know me from life, but you only kind of know me and you're watching this right now, this is probably your first time hearing that I'm not too super into drugs, but I play into it and I joke about it a lot. So I could see why you'd think that. That started in grade school, really. When grade school and high school, people would be like, "You are so fucking high right now." I'd be like, "Yeah," because I don't know. Yes, and that's the way I operated. I went along with shit because I'm good at it, and it just never stopped. I'm filming this on Monday. Maybe I'll do a little bit more tomorrow before Happy Pride. Holy shit. Happy Pride. I don't even think I said that on the last episode because I was, again, ground zero, all the good things. And I never brought up Happy Pride. Happy Pride to you all. Happy Pride to everyone. I love Pride. I don't know if there's a parade this year in Seattle. Maybe, I think there might be. I haven't looked it up. I'd like to go. But I work a lot and I'm kind of lazy. So those things add up to sometimes not going out so much. But there we are. So finally, I come out and say, Happy Pride. Again, I've been distracted. But I love Pride, you know? I want to get... You know what I've been looking for? And if any of you listeners know where I can get this, please, maybe you know someone on Etsy that can do this. I want a Pride shirt that's not just printed flag, but it's physically the whole thing is a rainbow. You know what I mean? Like you'll get pride flags. It's a picture of a rainbow, or it's a rainbow on the sleeves. No, I want the whole shirt to be rainbow, and I don't want like for instance this. I don't want the material. I want it to be like dyed. I don't even know if this is possible. I don't think it's possible. But I want it to be not like this material. I want it to be the color of the materials. That's what I've been searching for. I can't find it. I don't think it exists. I don't even think it's possible. But if it does exist, and it is possible, I would like to own that shirt. You see, I was crew for a production of Perestroika once, and the one of the characters, if you know what Perestroika is, comes back as sort of not a deity. It's hard to explain. One of the costumes was a rainbow robe, okay? And the costume designer physically dyed many, many, many strips of fabric and essentially sewed those fabrics together to make this robe. It was what looked like, and I'm sure it was, an incredibly painstaking and involved thing to do, right? Because it's not like you have one piece of fabric and it's all different colors. No, it was a robe comprised of many different I think it was the same fabric that was dyed, but you still had to stitch it together. You had to make this robe out of many pieces, but it looked seamless. It was baller. And I know that robe is locked away somewhere in the University of Washington wardrobe rooms, just hanging out. I want to heist it. I would like to heist it. I'd like to perform a heist to steal that robe. I don't think I deserve the robe, if I'm being honest. And that's why I won't heist. That's why I will not perform a heist to get into the University of Washington wardrobe department and steal that robe. It's because I don't believe that I deserve the rainbow robe. But does the University of Washington? Anyway, I threw my notebook. Oh, speaking of pride, I went home for a couple days, and I was actually going to do this podcast from home. Home being Vancouver, Washington / Portland area. I was going to do it from my parents, my old room at my parents' house. But, you're home, you get busy, friends. I hang out with my little brother a lot. We went out. Started drinking again. Don't worry. It's not crazy yet. And I'm going to try to keep it that way. Maybe I'll stop again after this. But I'm certainly not going to drink alone. Is that too much information? Nope. So I was at a gas station going home. And there's the impulse item section at the checkout. And at the impulse item section at the checkout, I saw Skittles. I love Skittles. But these Skittles, they were completely white. There was no rainbow. And I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder if they're doing a mystery color, I'm a mystery Skittle type thing. And I read the package, and it said, because there's only one rainbow during Pride. I was like, oh, shit. Whoever came up with that in the marketing room fucking must have dropped the mic. You had to, because that's a drop the mic. I'm not going to drop this mic. I paid money for this mic. But I might drop it sometime. I'm getting distracted. But that was a total drop the mic marketing move. I love it. Because there's only one rainbow that matters during Pride. Because their whole thing is taste the rainbow. Respect. So I guess I'm just gonna do what I have right now, and then I mean I'm just gonna either record more tonight. I'm gonna spend some time editing this. I don't know why I'm telling you that part. Oh, I play a lot of Sea of Thieves, or I play some amount of Sea of Thieves, and I'm really stoked. If you don't know what Sea of Thieves is, it's an open world game where you're a pirate and you do piratey things, and it's a lot of fun. It's an Xbox exclusive, so if you have an Xbox, check it out. I think you can also get it on PC, so that's cool. But you sail around, and you could solo sloop, or you could go on a big galleon with at least 4 friends. It's a lot of fun. But they have announced that for a time at least, Captain Jack Sparrow will be in the game. And that's going to be so cool. It's like a Disney collab, and Captain Jack is coming, and you better believe that Davy Jones is going to be there. And there was even a glimpse of Mr. Gibbs. And I watched the trailer for that, and I am stoked. Needless to say, I'm gonna be playing more of the Sea of Thieves coming up, and I have been playing. I got my little brother into it because I do that sometimes. Anyway, that's what I got for now. I'm gonna stop this recording, and I'm gonna either record a little bit more tonight or a little bit more tomorrow morning, and fucking stay hard out there. Oh shit, that's a weird thing to do. That meant to be stay erect. I'm gonna cut that part out. Okay, see you in like 5 seconds. And I'm back. I am back with the second part of this podcast. Welcome back. You're in the last half. You're almost there. You're in the race. You're going through the tunnel. There's a tunnel in the race, and you're going through it, and there's darkness, but you see a little light. You see a light, and the light that you see is the end of the race, which is also the end of the podcast and the end of you having to hear this voice for this week. You don't have to. You don't have to hear this voice for this week, but I appreciate it if you do. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. I was at Starbucks yesterday morning, and this guy, so I got my drink. I got a regular drip coffee with a little bit of half and half to cool it down, as I wanted to drink it immediately, as I didn't have much time before I had to go in for work. And I also got a sandwich because I forgot to eat breakfast before work. But that's neither here nor there. Actually, it is. I'm going to talk about that later. Anyway, so I check out, and there's this guy behind me. He's like sort of tall. He looks like your typical howdy doody neighbor motherfucker. Is what he looks like. So, not basically the type of person that I try not to have a conversation with. Here's what happens. This howdy doody motherfucker goes up, and he goes, I'll have iced caramel macchiato. I don't think that's what he actually had. And then I'm going to pay for this guy behind me. The guy behind him was, I don't know, an unassuming Latino dude. And I could sense the uncomfortability immediately. That's why you only do that shit in drive-thrus. You do this kind of shit in drive-thrus because essentially what you're saying by doing it in person is, look at me, I just did a good deed. You do it in drive-thrus so you don't have to go through that awkwardness that is, look at me, I did a nice thing. And even in the drive-thrus, it's still, the whole chain thing is, I love the concept of I would like to pay for someone's drink. I love that. But the whole chain thing is just, It's odd because you're still paying for a drink. The only person that benefits from this whole thing is the person who's selfish enough at the end to go, it's mine. Or it just goes until the Starbucks close and the fucking house takes it. Which is good if it goes to the workers, but it doesn't. It's not a tip. It just goes to the corporation that is Starbucks, and it's just silly. But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it isn't that person going, I paid for someone's drink. Look at what I've done, all you plebeians. I have so much wealth that I can give it away freely like my sperms. No. You still, I guess, paid for someone's drink. But it's weird because you're forced to stay in there with that person, and you're forced to decide, do I pay for the person's drink behind me? With that person there. So now you're forced to make that decision. I don't know if this is a good guy or not. The person behind me. This could be an axe murderer or a serial killer who uses axe, making him a serial axe murderer. You don't know. Maybe this person does not deserve a coffee. And maybe they were a Hitler Youth. I don't know. Maybe this is not a person deserving of coffee is all I'm saying. Maybe they are. Who am I to know? The point is you're stuck there with decision. Do I pay for that person's coffee, or do I go on with my day? I believe there was someone behind the gentleman who got the coffee bought for him, and I do not believe that he got them a coffee, which I think is fine. That gentleman got a free coffee, and all is well. Someone else is going to do the thing. And anyway, I was talking about the worst part. So the worst part is that this guy had the balls, the audacity to turn to the guy he just bought a drink for and go, what do you do for a living? Small talk. I did a good deed for you. Now let me force you into fucking small talk. That's my worst nightmare. Because I'd be like, I can't do anything in return for this person. You've put me in debt, and now you're asking me what I do for a living, how my day was, what the weather's like. Go fuck yourself. That is awful. It's a nightmare. Why? You're in a trap. It's a trap. It's a social trap, I think. I don't know. And again, maybe this person was just trying to be a nice guy. I'm just saying it seems a little weird. It seems off. It seems like a trap, like a social trap, like I said. Maybe there's a different, fun, light way to look at it. But that's the way I saw it. I saw it as strange. I saw it as unnecessary. There's no other way to slice it. It was strange. End of story. That's the end of the story. So I got a sandwich. Today because, as I said, I skipped lunch that morning. And, well, if I'm being honest, I got a sandwich and a croissant. I got a sandwich and a croissant. Calorically not so good. However, when I usually miss breakfast and just get it at the Starbucks that's right next to my work, I'm going to indulge in the double smoked bacon and cheddar. Look at me. Fatty McFatterson. That's just who I am. They were out. So I got the turkey and egg white one, which is fucking delicious. And 300 calories versus the 520 of the double smoked bacon and cheddar. Still not great for you. It's probably still not great. Maybe it's a little bit better. But here's what blows my mind. It tastes generally the same, but there's that 200 calories difference. And it's so weird because it's just so I just don't understand how just small changes can make such a big difference calorically. I don't understand it. I'm not a food scientist, but it's interesting. Of course, I made up the calories and then some by having the croissant. It's okay. I'm going to work it off swimming this morning. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. What is yerba mate? Like, what is it? I saw it in a guy's bag yesterday. I was like, I don't know what you are. I think you're a tea of some sort. Maybe a kombucha. But if I'm being honest, I don't know what you are. I know I checked in yesterday, and it's the same episode. But today's technically a new day, and I do feel like angry, if you couldn't tell. I have like an angry energy about me. And I don't necessarily like it. It's just because of all the things that have been going on. All the things I've been going through lately. And again, I hope you're doing good, whoever you are out there. I mean, oh man. I'm so lonely right now. I don't know if I go to Starbucks because I have a coffee addiction or if I go for the baristas. What are you going to do? I'm sad. I'm turning into a sad old man. But I'm trying not to be. I'm going to actively try to not be a sad old man. It's just the way it turns out sometimes. I'm in a sad old man mood right now, and I'm doing sad old man shit. And I'm thinking sad old man things. But that's not who I am. That's not who I'll be. It doesn't have to be me. And it's not going to be, goddammit. God, I'm angry today. I wrote all these notes on a pen. I think... Do I have the pens? I bought a lot of these pens because you can buy a lot for not that much. The Pilot G207. Gotta say, not my favorite pen. And I'll tell you why. It's because any pen where you can hear this... There's a metallic scraping. I don't like it. I'm not into it. I want my pen to roll. I want it to roll like it's the rolling fields of Iowa. I don't know. Whoever has rolling fields. And it just, there's that metallic scrape. I don't like the metallic scrape. It provides friction between the pen and the page and drag even. There's drag on the page. I don't need to, the pen mark, the penmanship is marred by the drag, I think. It gets in the way. It jerks the pen around maybe a little bit, maybe microscopically, maybe you can't even see it, but it's probably there. The equal and opposite effects, right? You can't feel that metallic drag without there being some consequences on a molecular level. So the pen's not my favorite. I might even just throw them away. I only bought 2, but they were pretty cheap. So, or maybe I'll give them away, and then ask the person who I gave them to how their day was, because they're in debt to me. God damn it! I can do what I want. Maybe I'm looking at that whole situation the wrong way. Maybe it was just a guy who wanted to do a good thing, but it again, strange. You guys, I think that's gonna have to be the show today. I'm out of steam. I'm even out of anger. Well, maybe not. Not like I'm feeling something like right here, some emotions that's tied to everything that's going on. But we don't have to worry about that right now. What we have to worry about is I have to go to work later today. I want to get some exercise in, so I don't feel so shitty. But that's our show. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This has been the Oyasumi podcast. If you have enjoyed this on any level, I invite you to subscribe wherever you're listening to this, whether it be on Spotify, on whatever platform you're listening to this. And if you have time or the ability, go to the Apple Podcast app and give me a rating. Give me a 5-star. If you hated it, give it a 1-star, I guess. But anything's better than nothing, I guess. Also, I plea, if you've enjoyed this, to at least go to the YouTube page. I'm Ryan MC on YouTube, or just search the Oyasumi podcast. Not a whole lot of other Oyasumi podcasts out there. Look up the title to this episode. It's going to be the exact same thing on YouTube. And give me a subscribe there on YouTube. Even if you don't watch it, it'll help my algorithm, and I would appreciate it. If you don't want to, that's cool too. No pressure. But again, thank you so much. And Oyasumi, you have a good night. Appreciate you.